Holy shit, this is a wide lens. Whoa! Dude, you can see like almost 180 degrees. It's 14 mil. Hold on, I'm gonna shoot a quick real estate shot, even though I'm not actually selling my house. Doesn't that just make you want to buy my house? But it's not for sale, sorry. Anyway, I got a little Red Komodo X build right here. It's looking beautiful. I went really minimal with this one right here. Just got myself an RF 24-105 and just a V-mount build and a small HD 5-inch. This is a really nice and cute setup right here, really tiny, minimalistic. Typically, I do like a more built out camera rig because, let's be honest, it looks cooler whenever it's completely built out. But recently I have been trying out a lot smaller rigs like this guy right here. I'm working on the R5C right now and it's looking beautiful just at the LCD screen. Look at that. See this? I shot the last couple films I shot on the Red Komodo and the Komodo X just came out, so I'm gonna do some test shots with it and give you my thoughts on the newest big brother to the Red Komodo. That sentence fell apart. I'm just gonna shoot some test shots and give you my thoughts on it. Dude, it's so hot outside. What is this 100-degree weather for 20, 30 days straight? Like, oh, this is ridiculous. Anyways, I got some shots on the Komodo X here. Shot in 4K 120, see what it looks like. Oh my God, that looks beautiful. Oh, whoa. You guys are seeing the final product right now. I'm just seeing the raw footage, so, oh man, those colors look beautiful. Wow, that is something that I'm noticing in the Komodo X, that the color reproduction is a lot better than the original Komodo. So that's something, if that matters to you, you should definitely take note of that. Oh wow, that's insane. Whoa, the R5C definitely handles this. Oh, that just looks so cool. Again, the dynamic range on all these cameras are so beautiful. So obviously this is not going to be a very in-depth review about the Komodo X. If you want a full-on review, please let me know in the comments below. I'll make that for you. Another thing about the Komodo X is that the Komodo X sports a native V-mount. It's not the BP mount like the Canon BP batteries that we saw in the first Komodo, but that's very interesting, having V-mounts instead of BP batteries, which honestly, I don't really mind. I do like having a V-mount there. It does level out the camera quite a bit because BP batteries are a lot smaller than V-mounts. So I understand, yes, there are many other ways you can counterbalance other than using V-mount, but that is just something I did notice about the Komodo X, and I like a little bit more about the Komodo X. Something that I found really cool about the Red Komodo X was that it has a locking RF mount. It has a little locking ring right here, you see? You put your lens on like normal, and then once it clicks in, you lock it with this ring right here. It's right there. It looks so cool. Just like the old DMS-C2s, honestly, I am more of a DMS-C2 fan than I am the DMS-C3s. The Red Komodo X is awesome. Of course, it's doing some awesome shots, but I did like that little locking RF mount right there. It gives me some nostalgia from the DMS-C2 days. Now, I still shoot DMS-C2. I think the Raven is one of the best Reds out there in my opinion. So with DMS-C2, I just like the interface a lot better. I've just gotten so used to that over time, so I guess that's what I'm accustomed to. So having to move from a DMS-C2 interface to the DMS-C3, that was a really big change. I'm open to change, but that was a lot to get used to. But I mean, it's fairly straightforward anyways. It's just, I don't know, something about DMS-C2, man. Also, by the way, I know it's DSMC2, not DMSC, whatever, just, it's, you know what I mean. By the way, we're also still rocking that global shutter if you care at all about that. Global shutter is not something that I really care about too much. Rolling shutter has never really given me a problem. Having global shutter is cool, don't get me wrong, but not many people are gonna notice a difference between global shutter and rolling shutter unless you're a filmmaker. So that's something, but still, I do appreciate keeping the global shutter. That's really cool. Red was also saying that they completely gave us a new overall sensor. Here are the specs on the screen right now. I don't know them right off the bat right now. I'm just doing my first test on the Komodo X right here, so Please don't hate me for not knowing too much about this camera yet. Another thing that I am liking about the Komodo X interface is a lot of quality of life improvements. The screen is a lot more responsive. The Komodo definitely gave me some hard times because it was just always very laggy. The latency on it was not the greatest. Now that's common across a lot of Reds. Every time I'm starting to adjust my settings, I'm always expecting it to lag behind because the interface is more or less exactly the same as the Komodo, but that responsiveness is a lot faster. So it's like, oh, okay, like, you know, I'm using a Komodo, but the screen is a lot more responsive. I know that's not something that I should be too impressed about, but I do appreciate it. One of the biggest reasons that you'd probably want to go from the Komodo to the Komodo X is frame rates. I believe you can only go up to 60 frames a second in 6K with the original Komodo. No, Will, you're an absolute idiot. On the Komodo, you can only go up to 40 frames a second in 6K, and you can only go up to 60 frames a second in 4K. Dumbass. But with the Komodo X, you can go up to 80 frames a second in 6K and 4K 120, and that is something that I absolutely wanted in the original Komodo, 4K 120. Also something I did learn, you should not ever actually plug in the SDI onto the Red or into the Red whenever it's on, because that's just a weird thing with the hardware. You could do something bad. I don't know exactly what that is, but I learned that at work, so just don't do that, guys. But when would I use the Komodo X? Oh man, usually I would say that I would always use the Raven no matter what, but the Komodo X is looking really good now. I'm like, huh. There's something that I don't like about the Komodos is compression ratios. So in the DMSC2 bodies, you have a ratio, 12 to 1, 10 to 1, 16 to 1, whatever it is you want to shoot at in terms of compressing your image. The Komodos and the DSMC3 bodies, they don't have that anymore. They replaced it with LQ, MQ, HQ, so low quality, medium quality, high quality. Like that's just, I understand that's just to dumb it down and like make it easier on people, but come on, man. Here, let me give you guys a look. All right, let's go into menu, and let's go into project settings. See this right here? We have the Red quality, and this is the compression ratio right here. That's a very responsive screen, by the way, look at that. Very satisfying. We see you have HQ, MQ, LQ, and ELQ, which is something that Red just put into the Komodo X. ELQ, extra low quality, which is what I've been shooting in this entire time, because honestly, most of you are probably watching on your phones and you won't see that much of a difference anyways. Actually, you know what? Why not we do some tests between all of the compression ratios, see if you guys can tell a difference. All right, we're shooting in 6K now on the Komodo X, and we're currently testing out ELQ. There's a random dude running down the street right there. Switch it over to LQ right now. And honestly, if you're watching on a small screen right now, you're not going to notice that much of a difference. We just switched over to MQ right now, but you should pay attention more to the fine detail parts of the image, like where the bush is and maybe the grass as well. But like I said, you're probably not going to see too much of a difference until we start to zoom in, and even then, there's a random dude running again. Even then, you're still not going to see too much of a difference, but where you're going to see the most difference right here, take a look at the shingles on the house on the left. You can see as we lower that compression, we can start to see more and more of those shingles come into detail right here. Honestly, there really is no reason for you to be shooting in such a low compression ratio. I'd say don't shoot anything more than MQ. The only reason why I would say that you would shoot in HQ is if you're a VFX artist and you need those extra pixels to get a better result in your effects. Now, will the Komodo X take over the Komodo? For me, probably, yes. I do love my HFR. I really do like the high frame rates that the Komodo X gives. Honestly, I don't really shoot 6K, so ever since we shot the student film on 6K, I just didn't find any use for it. It was nice and sharp, yes, but you know, we could have gotten the same quality of image out of the Raven at 4.5K. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of really high resolutions. I do like my high frame rates though. So that is why I would probably choose the Komodo X over the Komodo at this point. If I'm called onto a project and they ask me if I want to use Komodo X or Komodo, I'm using the Komodo X. But if you don't really care that much about frame rates and you don't mind a little bit of color correction and post-production, honestly, there's not that much of a difference. There's not that much of a difference between this and the Komodo. So if you're thinking about going with one of the two and you don't really care about frame rates, then the Komodo is probably your best bet. But let me know what you guys think about the Komodo X in the comments down below. If you want a full in-depth review about the Komodo X, please let me know and I'll make sure to make that for you as quickly as I can. And one more thing, if you want to up your cinematography skills, we have our brand new $27 mini cinematography course where we covered the 7 fundamentals of a cinematic image, and you can get this course for only $27. So click the link in the top right corner and the first link in the description below. But other than that, if you have any more questions, please let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.